The 1952 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, struck at the Denver Mint, featuring the small D mint mark beneath the date, is a remarkable artifact from the mid-20th century United States, part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and designed by Victor David Brenner, whose classic design, featuring the profile of Lincoln on the obverse, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date with the mint mark to the right, has become one of the most recognizable coin designs in numismatic history. While the reverse displays two wheat stalks, flanking the denomination 1 cent, and the inscription, "United States of America," with the motto "E pluribus unum" above, symbolizing not only the agrarian heritage of the United States, but also the nation's unity and prosperity during a period of significant social, economic, and political transition in the early 1950s. Post-World War II boom, the beginning of the Cold War, the Korean War, and the presidential transition from Harry S. Truman to Dwight D. Eisenhower, making each penny not just a piece of currency, but a tangible piece of American history. And while the 1952 D wheat penny is relatively common compared to other dates in the series, its presence in bad condition, which is the term used to describe coins that have heavy wear from circulation, with details on Lincoln's face, hair, and the wheat stalks largely flattened, rims worn down, scratches, discoloration, minor corrosion, and an overall loss of luster, still offers significant educational and historical value, as it demonstrates the life of a coin in commerce, the effects of wear and environmental exposure over decades, and the durability of mid-20th century copper-based coinage composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which allowed it to survive decades of circulation, despite rough handling, pocketing, jar storage, or exposure to moisture and air, often resulting in the characteristic brown or reddish-brown patina seen on heavily circulated pennies, which some collectors even find aesthetically appealing for its authenticity and evidence of age. And for those attempting to build a complete Lincoln Wheat Penny collection by date and mint mark, the 1952 D remains an essential piece, representing the Denver Mint's production output and helping collectors understand minting practices, coin distribution, and circulation patterns in the early 1950s. While in terms of market value, coins in poor or bad condition typically command very modest prices, often ranging from a few cents to around 50 cents, depending on demand, local market interest, and buyer perception. And although such coins may not be of high investment value, they are widely sought after by beginners, educators, hobbyists, and collectors who value historical context over monetary worth, as well as for demonstration purposes in classrooms, museums, or numismatic discussions, while the coin also allows for examination of wear patterns, die characteristics, minor errors, and variations that can occur even in mass-produced mid-century coins, such as die cracks, doubled dies, or planchet imperfections, which, while not common in this specific year and mint mark, remain points of interest for those studying numismatics in depth. And professionally graded coins, even in bad condition, receive standardized grades from services such as PCGS or NGC, ranging from about good, AG3, or good, G4, for heavily circulated specimens, ensuring that collectors and sellers have a consistent metric for condition and value, while the 1952 D itself connects modern collectors to the historical, economic, and cultural milieu of the United States during the early 1950s, a time when pennies were essential for daily commerce, including grocery purchases, public transportation fares, and small transactions that reflected the monetary habits and purchasing power of everyday Americans. And the coin's longevity, despite wear, scratches, discoloration, and heavy circulation, serves as a testament to both the physical durability of copper alloy coinage and the cultural durability of Lincoln's image as a symbol of integrity, leadership, and national pride, while simultaneously offering insight into minting technology at the Denver Mint during that period, which produced millions of pennies annually to meet national demand, using presses, dies, and quality control measures that were advanced for their time, yet still susceptible to minor imperfections that become points of study for numismatists and collectors studying the 1952 D in bad condition gain practical lessons in coin identification, wear assessment, patina evaluation, historical context, and the evolution of currency handling over time, while understanding that even the most heavily worn pennies preserve their intrinsic design and identity, making them collectible, educational, and historically meaningful. And in addition, the coin reflects a time in American life characterized by growth, change, and optimism, where coins such as the 1952 wheat penny circulated in the hands of millions of Americans, serving as both currency and cultural artifacts, while also demonstrating the long-term effects of circulation wear, environmental exposure, and human handling. And despite its low monetary value in bad condition, it remains a cherished object for historical study, collection completion, educational purposes, and numismatic enjoyment, bridging the gap between practical currency and tangible history. And for hobbyists, this coin represents both a challenge and a reward, as completing a date and mint collection requires attention to detail, persistence, and an appreciation for coins across all grades, with bad condition examples being highly accessible starting points, while also providing a direct physical connection to the era of the early 1950s, mid-century American society, the Denver Mint, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln as immortalized on the United States 1 cent coin, and thus the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, even in bad condition, embodies historical significance, educational value, collector interest, accessibility, cultural symbolism, and numismatic insight, making it far more than a simple coin, but rather a miniature artifact, representing the social, economic, and technological narratives of its time, the durability and artistry of its design, and the enduring appeal of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which continues to captivate collectors, historians, educators, and enthusiasts worldwide, ensuring that even heavily worn examples such as this 1952 will remain meaningful, collectible, and appreciated for generations to come, as a bridge between history, everyday life, and the art of coinage in the United States. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, represents one of the most historically significant periods in United States coinage history, as it was produced during the final full year of World War II, a time when the American economy, society, and military were deeply engaged in global conflict, making each coin not only a piece of currency, but also a tangible connection to a pivotal moment in world history. And while the coin in question is described as being in bad condition, meaning that it has endured extensive circulation over the decades, with heavy wear that has flattened most of the fine details on Abraham Lincoln's profile, including the hair, cheek, jawline, and coat, as well as the wheat stalks on the reverse, making inscriptions like E pluribus unum, 1 cent, and United States of America faint or partially worn away, it still carries immense historical and numismatic value. And in fact, even heavily worn examples tell stories about the coin's journey through American life, having passed through countless hands, wallets, coin jars, cash registers, and pockets, surviving exposure to moisture, dirt, friction, and the natural chemical reactions that produce a brown or reddish patina characteristic of circulated copper coins, which some collectors consider aesthetically authentic and desirable for the story it represents, while also demonstrating the durability of the composition used during this period, namely 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, although it is notable that during 1943, due to wartime demands for copper, pennies were made from steel coated with zinc, and the 1944 penny marked a return to copper from recycled wartime materials, with most coins being produced using recycled shell casings from the military, adding an additional layer of historical intrigue and symbolism to the 1944 issue, making each penny not only legal tender, but also a miniature relic of America's war effort, patriotism, and resourcefulness. And while Philadelphia Mint coins carry no mint mark, they are identifiable as such and represent the core of U.S. dollars production at the time, which was tasked with meeting enormous coinage needs despite wartime constraints. And for collectors attempting to complete a full Lincoln Wheat Penny set, including all mint marks from 1909 to 1958, the 1944 Philadelphia penny is an essential piece, representing both a historical milestone and the technical prowess of the mint during a challenging period. And when assessing a bad condition example, numismatists consider the overall wear, rim integrity, flattening of Lincoln's bust, erosion of the reverse wheat stalks, and the coin's patina, which may range from dark brown to reddish brown, as well as any scratches, nicks, or minor corrosion that indicate heavy circulation. And although such coins rarely fetch high prices on the collector market, typically valued at modest amounts of a few cents to a few dollars, depending on buyer interest, location, and demand, they remain highly important for educational purposes, beginner collections, and historical study. Serving as tangible evidence of mid-century American life, the economics of the war era, and the daily transactions of millions of citizens who used these coins in grocery stores, transportation, small businesses, and informal exchanges. And even in bad condition, the coin retains its cultural and symbolic significance, as Abraham Lincoln's image evokes ideals of integrity, leadership, and unity during times of national challenge, while the wheat stalks symbolized agriculture, growth, and sustenance during a period when the United States was mobilizing its resources both domestically and abroad. And for those studying numismatics, a 1944 penny offers lessons in coin design, minting processes, circulation wear, preservation techniques, and historical context, as it can be used to demonstrate the differences between mint marks, the effects of decades of handling, the chemical and physical changes in copper alloy coins, and the practical aspects of coin collecting, including storage, grading, and valuation. And while professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC may classify heavily worn coins as about good AG3 or good G4, this does not diminish the coin's educational or historical importance, and the 1944 Philadelphia penny without mint mark remains a cornerstone for collectors aiming to illustrate the evolution of U.S. coinage through the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, providing a tangible link to the home front during World War II, the economic conditions of the early 1940s, and the enduring legacy of one of America's most revered presidents, Abraham Lincoln, while also offering insight into the Denver and San Francisco mint counterparts for comparative study, allowing enthusiasts to explore differences in strike quality, planchet composition, and subtle design variations, as well as to understand the broader context of wartime coin production, including the influence of metal rationing, mint output levels, and the technological challenges of producing millions of coins annually during a time of national and global stress. And beyond its numismatic and historical significance, the 1944 penny in bad condition also serves as a physical artifact that connects present-day collectors to the everyday lives of Americans who lived, worked, and transacted with these coins, understanding of history that cannot be fully captured by books or photographs, while simultaneously teaching collectors and historians about coin wear, circulation dynamics, patination, and conservation, all of which are essential components of understanding both the art and science of numismatics. And despite its lower monetary value relative to rarer or higher-grade examples, the coin's significance lies in its representation of continuity, survival, and resilience, both as a physical object and as a symbol of a nation enduring global conflict and societal change, ensuring that the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, even in bad condition, remains a deeply meaningful, collectible, historically rich, and culturally significant piece of American heritage that bridges economics, history, artistry, and everyday life, offering collectors, educators, students, and enthusiasts a direct, tangible connection to the mid-20th century, the challenges of wartime America, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, immortalized on one of the most iconic coin designs in United States history, making it far more than a simple penny, but rather a vessel of storytelling, education, and historical preservation that continues to inspire curiosity, study, and appreciation for generations of coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, represents an iconic and historically significant coin from the post-World War II era in the United States, part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, featuring the enduring design by Victor David Brenner, whose obverse profile of Lincoln includes the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date on the right, while the reverse showcases two wheat stalks, flanking the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America above, and the motto E pluribus unum prominently displayed. And while the 1948 Philadelphia penny is considered relatively common within the series, it remains an essential piece for collectors aiming to complete a date and mint set, especially as a representation of post-war American coinage, and in bad condition, which indicates that the coin has been heavily circulated for decades. The finer details of Lincoln's facial features, hair, and coat, as well as the wheat ears on the reverse, are worn smooth, with significant loss of rim definition, flattened lettering, scratches, discoloration, and sometimes minor corrosion or verdigris due to environmental exposure. Yet even in this state, the coin retains immense educational and historical value as a tangible relic of everyday life in 1948, reflecting the economic, social, and cultural environment of a nation transitioning from wartime to peacetime, when Americans were experiencing post-war prosperity, industrial growth, and the beginnings of the baby boom era. And the coin's composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc ensures that despite heavy wear, it has survived over 7 decades, demonstrating the durability of mid-20th century copper coinage, while also providing collectors with an opportunity to study the effects of circulation, oxidation, and patination on U.S. coins. Coinage, as bad condition examples, often display a rich, dark brown or reddish-brown patina that authenticates the coin's age and circulation history, which some collectors find particularly appealing for its story and authenticity. And for those attempting to build a full Lincoln wheat penny collection, including coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, the 1948 penny without a mint mark is crucial, representing both a historical milestone and the production capabilities of the Philadelphia Mint during the post-war years, when coinage production needed to meet the demands of a growing economy and an increasing population. And while high-grade 1948 pennies can command moderate premiums in collector markets, coins in bad condition typically trade for very modest amounts, often from a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on buyer interest, demand, and local market conditions. Yet their value is not solely monetary, as they provide practical lessons in numismatic study, including identification, grading, wear assessment, historical context, and the evaluation of patina and preservation, and the coin's significance is enhanced by its role as a witness to post-war American daily life. Having circulated widely in commerce, including groceries, transportation fares, small purchases, and pocket change, passing through countless hands, jars, and cash registers, while serving as both a medium of exchange and a miniature historical artifact, connecting modern collectors to the lived experiences of ordinary Americans in the late 1940s, and despite its heavily worn state, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny remains a testament to the artistry of Victor David Brenner's design, the technological capabilities of the Philadelphia Mint, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln as a symbol of honesty, leadership, and unity, while also reflecting the broader cultural and economic context of the era, including the shift from wartime production to peacetime prosperity, the rise of suburbanization, and the growth of consumer culture, all of which influenced the historical importance of the coin. And collectors studying a bad condition 1948 penny gain insight into the life cycle of coins, circulation wear, die characteristics, minor planchet imperfections, and minting variations, while also learning about professional grading standards provided by services such as PCGS or MGC, which typically assign heavily worn examples grades such as About Good AG3 or Good G4, providing a consistent framework for evaluating coins of all conditions. And the 1948 penny's lack of a mint mark makes it identifiable as a Philadelphia Mint product, helping collectors understand mint-specific production numbers, output quality, and historical minting practices, while also offering a direct connection to the post-war era, demonstrating how currency functioned in everyday life, and how even ordinary, heavily circulated coins can serve as valuable educational tools, historical artifacts, and collectible items, preserving the continuity of the Lincoln wheat penny series and the rich narrative of American numismatic history. And beyond its monetary value, the coin embodies resilience, longevity, and cultural significance, offering a physical and tangible link to 1948 America, bridging numismatic study, history, and daily life, making the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in bad condition far more than a simple coin, but rather a vessel of storytelling, education, and historical preservation that continues to captivate collectors, educators, historians, and enthusiasts, ensuring that this small, worn artifact remains a meaningful, collectible, and culturally rich representation of post-war American heritage, coinage artistry, and the enduring symbol of Abraham Lincoln. And despite its modest value in the collector market, it continues to hold relevance and importance for generations of numismatists and history enthusiasts who seek to understand, appreciate, and preserve the tangible legacy of mid-20th century United States coinage in its many forms, conditions, and stories. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, represents a quintessential piece of mid-20th century United States coinage, part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Featuring the enduring obverse design by Victor David Brenner, which showcases the profile of Lincoln, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date to the right, while the reverse features two wheat stalks, flanking the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America above, and the motto "E Pluribus Unum" prominently displayed. And although the 1951 Philadelphia penny is relatively common within the Lincoln wheat penny series, it remains an essential component for collectors attempting to complete a date and mint mark collection, as it represents the Philadelphia Mint's production for that year, and in bad condition, which indicates extensive circulation and heavy wear. Most of the fine details on Lincoln's face, hair, and coat have been flattened or smoothed out. The rims show significant wear. The wheat stalks on the reverse are largely indistinct. Inscriptions may be faint or partially worn away. Scratches, nicks, discoloration, and minor corrosion are present, and the coin often exhibits a brown or reddish-brown patina due to natural oxidation over decades. Yet even in such heavily worn condition, the coin retains enormous historical, educational, and numismatic significance, as it connects modern collectors to post-war American society, economics, and daily life, reflecting the circulation patterns of coins used in everyday transactions such as grocery shopping, transportation fares, small retail purchases, and casual exchanges. And the 1951 penny was struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which provides remarkable durability despite heavy wear, allowing even the most circulated examples to survive over 70 years later, serving as tangible evidence of the longevity of mid-20th century coinage and the resilience of the Philadelphia Mint's production methods, while also providing an opportunity for collectors and historians to study wear patterns, dye characteristics, minor planchet flaws, and the effects of environmental exposure on copper alloy coins. And for those seeking to assemble a complete Lincoln wheat penny collection, the 1951 Philadelphia penny is indispensable, offering insight into mint output, the post-war economy, and minting practices during an era when coinage production was vital to support a growing population and robust consumer activity. And although coins in bad condition are generally valued modestly in the collector market, often only a few cents to a couple of dollars, their significance goes far beyond monetary value, as they offer lessons in historical context, coin handling, grading, preservation, and the everyday life of Americans in the early 1950s. Graded by organizations such as PCGS or NGC, heavily circulated examples typically receive grades such as About Good AG3 or Good G4, establishing a standardized framework for evaluating wear and condition. And while the 1951 Philadelphia penny does not possess widely known rare errors, minor die cracks or planchet imperfections occasionally appear and can provide points of interest for more advanced collectors and numismatists. And the coin also serves as a cultural artifact, reflecting post-war optimism, suburban expansion, the rise of consumer culture, and the enduring symbolism of Abraham Lincoln as a figure of integrity, unity, and national pride, while the wheat stalks on the reverse continue to symbolize agriculture, prosperity, and the United States' agrarian roots, all of which enhance the coin's educational and historical relevance. And despite its modest financial value and bad condition, it continues to be widely collected for its role in teaching coin grading, preservation, circulation effects, and the art and technology of mid-century coinage, as well as providing a tangible link to the lived experiences of Americans during the early 1950s, when coins like this passed through countless hands, circulated in everyday commerce, and served as both currency and miniature historical artifacts, connecting modern observers to the social, economic, and cultural realities of the era. And for educators, hobbyists, and numismatic enthusiasts, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition remains an accessible, meaningful, and historically rich artifact, demonstrating the continuity and resilience of the Lincoln wheat penny series, illustrating the impact of circulation on coinware, and preserving a physical connection to post-war American life, the Philadelphia Mint's production capabilities, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, ensuring that even heavily worn examples like this 1951 penny continue to captivate collectors, historians, and students, bridging history, artistry, and numismatics, and solidifying their place as collectible, educational, and culturally significant pieces of United States coinage that tell a story far beyond their nominal 1-cent face value, offering insight into mid-century coin production, daily American life, and the broader narrative of the Lincoln wheat penny series, while remaining a tangible, enduring, and meaningful relic of American history, craftsmanship, and heritage. And even in the poorest condition, this 1951 Lincoln wheat penny remains a valuable and instructive object for anyone seeking to understand, appreciate, and preserve the legacy of United States coinage and the historical context in which it circulated. The 1924 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, represents a significant and historically rich example of early 20th century United States coinage, part of the Lincoln wheat cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and to honor one of the most revered presidents in American history, featuring the iconic obverse design by Victor David Brenner, which showcases a detailed profile of Abraham Lincoln, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date to the right, while the reverse includes 2 wheat stalks, flanking the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America above, and the motto E Pluribus Unum prominently displayed, symbolizing both the nation's agrarian heritage and its unity. And although the 1924 Philadelphia penny without a mint mark is not as rare as some other dates in the series, collectors aiming to complete a full date and mint collection, particularly because it represents the Philadelphia Mint's output during the post-World War I period and the early years of the Roaring Twenties, a time of significant economic, social, and cultural change in the United States, when the country was experiencing rapid industrial growth, technological innovation, urbanization, and an increasing role on the global stage, and in bad condition, which refers to coins that have been heavily circulated for decades. The details of Lincoln's facial features, hair, and coat are largely worn smooth. The rims are significantly flattened, the wheat stalks on the reverse are indistinct, and scratches, nicks, discoloration, and minor corrosion are evident, often accompanied by a dark brown or reddish patina, resulting from natural oxidation of the copper alloy over decades. Yet even in such a worn state, the coin retains immense historical, educational, and numismatic value, offering a tangible connection to everyday life in 1924 America, when pennies circulated widely in commerce, exchanged for groceries, transportation, services, and small purchases, passing through countless hands, jars, and cash registers, and serving as both currency and miniature historical artifacts. While the coin's composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc contributed to its durability, allowing even heavily worn examples to survive over 90 years later, providing collectors, historians, and educators with an opportunity to study the effects of circulation, environmental exposure, wear patterns, and patination on mid-20th century coinage, as well as die characteristics and planchet imperfections, which occasionally appear even in common dates. And for those seeking to assemble a complete Lincoln wheat penny collection, the 1924 Philadelphia penny without a mint mark is indispensable, offering insight into mint output, design evolution, and the social and economic environment of that time. United States during the early 1920s, while high-grade examples may command notable collector premiums, coins in bad condition typically trade for modest amounts, often ranging from a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on demand, local market conditions, and buyer interest. Yet the coin's value extends far beyond monetary considerations, serving as a tool for teaching coin grading, preservation techniques, and the history of American currency, while also connecting modern collectors to the lived experiences of Americans during the Roaring Twenties, including the rise of consumer culture, the growth of cities, and the everyday reliance on coinage in commercial transactions. And despite heavy wear, the 1924 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to demonstrate the artistry of Victor David Brenner's design, the technological capabilities of the Philadelphia Mint, and the enduring symbolic importance of Abraham Lincoln as a figure of honesty, leadership, and national unity. Wheat ears on the reverse further symbolize prosperity, growth, and the nation's agricultural foundation, all of which contribute to the coin's historical, educational, and cultural significance. And although its monetary value in bad condition is modest, it remains a vital piece for collectors studying the evolution of Lincoln Wheat pennies, minting techniques, circulation patterns, coin preservation, and historical context, offering a tangible bridge between early 20th century American history, numismatic study, and the daily lives of ordinary citizens. And as such, even heavily circulated examples of the 1924 Philadelphia penny without a mint mark continue to be highly relevant, collectible, educational, and historically meaningful, representing the resilience, durability, and enduring appeal of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, providing a physical connection to the social, economic, and cultural fabric of 1924 America, illustrating the journey of a coin through circulation, preserving the legacy of one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history, while simultaneously offering collectors, educators, and enthusiasts a direct link to the artistry, craftsmanship, and historical narrative embedded in even the most modest examples of American coinage, ensuring that the 1924 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark in bad condition, remains an essential, instructive, and deeply meaningful artifact of American heritage, bridging the study of numismatics, history, art, and culture, and maintaining its value as both a collectible item and a tangible connection to nearly a century of United States history. Please like and subscribe to my channel.